Так, ну что, давайте начинать, пожалуй. Всем здрасте. Ой, опа-на. Всем здрасте, всем привет, всем фыр. Канал Арцус Мазудал, как обычно в это время. Кто еще может здесь быть? Мы с вами продолжаем Hogwarts Legacy. Стрим так назван не просто так, Огонь и злой нрав, потому что у нас с вами сегодня сюжетка. Но, скорее всего, сегодня сюжет может закончиться. Точнее, я в этом не уверен, но допустим. Посмотрим, короче, на сегодня. Чат, я всех приветствую, всем желаю приятного просмотра. Вот, ну и прежде чем начнем, я хочу усердно поздравить всех с пятницей. Ура, товарищи, мы дожили. Вот, поэтому я поздравляю всех с окончанием рабочей недели. Не будем говорить, что сейчас происходит, да? Сами знаете, о чем я. Если не знаете, ну, ваши проблемы. Вот. Ладно, понеслась. Значит, нам с вами нужно встретиться с Поппи Добрин. Давайте вспомним, о чем там речь. Поппи ждет вас далеко к северу от Хогвартса. Летите, насколько позволит мне. Чат, рассказывайте, чё, как у вас дела, как у вас настроение вообще? Что нового со вчерашнего дня? Значит, напоминаю для тех, кого вчера не было. Мы с вами вчера закончили сюжетку Бэтмен Arkham Origins. И, соответственно, мы начинаем прохождение допов. Скорее всего, ближайшие стрима 2 или 4 где-то по Бэтсу мы будем проходить с вами допы. Далее у нас встает первый ассасин. Я так чисто напоминаю, да, тем, кто не в теме. И после первого ассасина у нас с вами встанет Бэтмена Arkham Asylum. Ну, Arkham Asylum. Да, Arkham Asylum, потом идет Arkham City, потом Arkham Knight. Вот. У нас будет Arkham Asylum, который, собственно, так говоря, посадочка. Даже без посадочки. Куда же без посадочки. Конечно, не супергеройское приземление, как у Бэтмена, но тоже сойдет. Так, там какие-то противники. Уже херачатся. Это люди какие-то. Ну, подождем, она, видимо, утром появится. Вот она. А вот и наша Поппи.
Highwing's fine. I'm keeping an eye on her. She's safe, Poppy, I promise.
Good. Whatever the poachers are up to, I want Highwing far from it.
You said you had news about the poachers, and that some of it had to do with me.
It did. I overheard them talking in the Hogshead, and did you know that they have orders from Victor Rookwood to capture you on sight? Does this have anything to do with Rookwood and Harlow coming for you in the Three Broomsticks after the troll attack?
It does, somewhat. But at the moment, I'm more concerned about what else you heard the poachers are up to.
Fair enough. But I hope you'll let me know if I can be of help, especially after what you did for Highwing. Does the name Horntail Hall mean anything to you?
I'm afraid not. Why? What is it?
The poachers' best kept secret, apparently. The name came up twice, but they never went into detail. I also overheard one of them bragging about all the gold they're making, at the expense of innocent creatures, undoubtedly. The poachers spoke of this area, and I thought if we searched around a bit, it might give us clues as to what they're doing. If you ever meet my Gran, this trip never happened.
Keeping things from Gran, are we?
I normally tell her everything. She might be my best friend after Highwing, but she knows how I feel about the poachers. I think she worries I'll do something ill-advised.
Whatever gave her that idea?
Необдуманно это как? Начнет кидать Аваду Кедавру? Да давай, веди, Поппи. Погнали. Что ты так кряхтишь-то? Опа.
Tread carefully.
Меня всегда прикалывало, кстати, что в английском языке слово «вайс».
Добрый...
Please, we don't want any trouble. We're simply passing
У тебя
through.
палочка в руках,
Do
дурак.
you take us for fools? That we do not notice more and more of your kind around here, in league with the poachers?
We aren't involved with them. If anything, we want to see them stopped.
I hope for your sake that is true. Our kind is swiftly losing patience with the poachers and those they work with.
Revelio.
А,
He was certainly a charmer.
That could have gone worse. Centaurs aren't exactly fans of wizard kind, and the poachers aren't helping matters.
But why would he think that we had anything to do with poachers?
I did notice the poachers talking with a few villagers in Hogsmeade. I'm not sure why. Perhaps that's why the centaurs are suspicious.
О, олень. Опа, мать.
That's the third time I've seen a dugbog behave that violently.
It seems that a lot of beasts have been more aggressive than usual lately.
I've noticed that too. It's almost like there's something in the water.
Ветри. Ага, агрессивность ветром надуло.
Revelio.
This is odd.
What is it?
Not entirely sure, but look around. If the poachers were here, perhaps we can find out why.
Revelio. Pelt. Poor beasts. Still smoking. They can't have been gone long. This is goblin metal. Seems out of place in a poacher camp. I should tell Poppy about it. Incendio! Confringo!
Anything interesting?
Poachers were here. All sorts of evidence. But I found something else. It's goblin made.
I found goblin armor. Let's keep searching, but carefully. Merlin only knows what's going on here. I don't have a good feeling about this.
Revelio.
How do goblin and poacher interests align?
Look, down there.
Definitely poachers. No creatures, though. So what are they doing out here?
Let's take a closer look.
They won't be happy to see us. Should we use disillusionment? Or perhaps a less discreet approach?
Hard to say from up here. Let's get a better lay of the land.
Haven't a clue why there's such a fuss over poaching. There's enough beast flesh for
Чат, у вас не подлагивает?
I'll have you know,
Я надеюсь.
I'm from a lineage steeped in
Revelio.
thievery. My uncle even
Так, ну
dared
вот.
tell my aunt the truth once about what
Не, ну
really
стелс в
happened to
этой
her
игре,
shriveled
конечно,
pigs.
кусок помоя.
Now
Это,
that's brave.
это вам не Бэтмен, конечно, да. Стелс в этой игре, это, конечно, кусок говна. Ну, свободен.
You can feed a beast, or it can feed you. I prefer the latter. Someone's going to regret trespassing. There's a human.
What I wouldn't give to be a demiguise right now.
Turn my back for 1 second and what happens?
Tell us.
The very moment I don't have every one of you standing in my line of sight is a disaster. And the first one of you is trying to
Чё она
pin it
несёт?
on me.
Кто знает.
Count the minutes till you speak your last word.
Нормально, да? Я сказал, что...
Merlin, you'd think they were guarding the Minister for Magic himself. What is going on here?
Only one way to find out. Revelio.
Ну, можно сказать, что нам практически повезло.
What in Merlin's name?
Are those dragons?
Ни хрена себе палатка. А, так это натуральные драконьи бои, ёп. Запрещены.
It's a dragon fighting ring. This is Hauntel Hall.
The name makes sense now, and the secrecy.
No wonder the poachers were in Hogsmeade so much. Likely taking bets and spreading the word, given how crowded it is here. How could they possibly enjoy this? The centaurs have every right to be disgusted with wizard kind. There must be more dragons here. The poachers are far too greedy to run a fighting ring with only 2 dragons. We should take advantage of most eyes being in the fight and look around. But be discreet. You especially can't afford to be spotted. That's it. Like that it's the word.
Don't know what Victor was thinking, striking a bargain with him.
Revelio.
Да, переводчики, конечно, меня продолжают удивлять иногда. Ну это-то ладно. Как нам...
Have you heard from your family? Has either of your brothers come round to our way of thinking? Will they join us?
The violence is gonna get us what we want. I say, if every last wizard is run through with a blade, then violence is gonna get me precisely what I want.
Sickens me to work alongside any of them. Don't know how Ramrock's stomach's being near Rookwood. Foul Petricus Totalis.
Двойной. Минус 2. Напоминает, честно говоря, вора. Стелс? Не вора, знаете, дизонор. Прям не могу, как напоминает дизонор. Не знаю, как вам. Именно вот сама идея, как система стелса, она напоминает очень сильно дизонор. Ты идешь?
Did you hear those goblins? Ramrock and the poachers must be working together.
Poppy, something's going on behind you.
What's going on down there? They must have only just captured her. She's putting up quite a
А,
fight.
они на нее прутся, что ли?
Not a fair one, though. Not with her chained up like that.
Let's even her up, shall we?
Каким образом вы собираетесь?
A more hushed approach is likely wise.
Как бы открытая драка — это не наш метод.
Revelio.
Look, they've got a dragon egg. Hebridean from the looks of it. We can't leave it here, not with the plans they likely have for it.
Hello, Hamora.
Что, нас сейчас спалят, да?
All right, I have the egg.
Ready. The elements are supplied.
Revelio.
Only buy us a few seconds.
Let's make them count.
Что вы предлагаете по итогу? Пальнуть, типа, или что от меня хочет? А? Назад. Ходим. Так, это нас палит. Мандрагору против. Нормально получил. Оу. Здорово, дурак. Здорово, дурак. Мать всего, что за ногой.
Shall we finish?
Гасим.
Accio. Compulso.
Aim for the ring at the front of the strings.
Defender. Levioso. Accio. This may have been a bad idea.
I suppose we'll find out.
This way.
That was a Hebridean black.
I'm guessing the egg we have belongs to that dragon.
I don't think she knew they had her egg. She wouldn't have left without it.
What now? She didn't exactly leave us a calling card.
I don't know. Nothing about this day was expected. Not the goblins, and definitely not the fighting ring. The last thing I planned on was a dragon egg. And the poachers saw us, which cannot be good.
Should we expect trouble from the poachers, given the trouble we just caused?
It would be foolish not to expect it. They're not a forgiving lot. I'm sorry to say that you likely have a larger target on your back now because of what we just did.
Since the dragon we freed flew off, does that mean we get to keep the egg?
I'd much rather we have it than the poachers, at least for now. But I don't think we should keep it indefinitely. It'll be hard hiding something like this from Professor Weasley for long.
We aren't helping ourselves standing here. Let's get to safety. We can sort this out later.
You're right. If there's anything the poachers are good at, it's tracking their prey. And right now, we're it. Be careful, won't you? I shall see you back at the castle.
Revelio.
Окей. Что у нас будет следующее сюжетное задание? Ну, я бы предложил кровное родство пройти.
It's time you learned the transformation spell. After you've completed the required tasks, which I'm certain will prove useful in finishing your field guide, attend my class to learn the new spell. After we will discuss your progress thus far in the term.
Так. Это все? Что нам сейчас даст игра? Заберите страницу для руководства в подземной гавани. Заберите страницу для руководства из книги «Трансфигурация. Средний уровень», которая находится в библиотеке. А целеуказатель, простите, будет? Будет. Это в замке, это понятно. Наверное, нам сюда, я думаю. Я практически уверен, что нам именно сюда. Итак. Игра нас куда-то ведет.
So this is the underground harbour. Revelio.
А что это за место?
The Grey Lady. I'd say hello, but she doesn't seem particularly social.
А, это... Я понял. Все, я сообразил, я сообразил.
Revelio.
Это место, где лодки приходят. О, да. Ну, давайте обратно в библиотеку. Я был уверен, что игра нам скажет наверх идти.
That book Professor Weasley asked me to find should be around here somewhere.
Looking for the book Intermediate Transfiguration.
Professor Weasley asked me to, get something from that book. May I have it?
Did she now? I'll give you this book if you humor me by answering a few questions from my quiz.
Quiz?
Some people call bits of knowledge trivia. I would argue that no knowledge is trivial. Hence, I have created a small quiz, just for fun, focusing mainly on the lore of the wizarding world. None of the other students will try it, no matter how many times I ask. They all say they have enough with schoolwork. Ugh, they don't value knowledge the way I do. Surely you're interested. I'll even start you off with a few of my easiest questions.
If that's the only way I can convince you to give me that book, then let's get it over with.
Splendid! Just a few questions, and then I'll hand over this book. Let us begin. Before the invention of the golden snitch, which magical creature was used in a game of Quidditch?
Чё? Откуда я должен это знать? Участвовала в Квиддиче до изобретения золотого снитча. Ну, давайте рассуждать. Значит, снитч — это круглый шар, который дает 150 баллов, да? Соответственно, змея-шейка здесь, скорее всего, не подходит. Я бы предположил...
The golden snidget.
Correct! The Snidget was first introduced to Quidditch in
это
1269
птичка?
by a wizard
Лол.
named Barbarous Bragg. Sadly, they're thought to be
Да.
extinct. Next question.
Волшебники-козлы.
Which potion is commonly referred to as liquid luck?
Это было в фильме, да? Это вот это,
Felix
по-моему.
Felicis.
Well done.
Это, по-моему, вот это.
Since it makes the drinker temporarily lucky, Felix Felicis is a banned substance in all organized competitions. The tale of the three brothers involves which magical artifacts?
Сказка о трех братьях. Это что такое? А, сказки Бардабиля, ёпта.
The Deathly Hallows.
Correct. According to
Сказки
Beedle the
Бардабиля,
Bard,
конечно.
the Deathly Hallows consists of the
Что-то я
Elder
туплю.
Wand, the Resurrection Stone, and the Cloak of Invisibility.
Это все?
Which ball in Quidditch is the largest?
Фофл. Подождите, там играют 4 мячами. Снич самый маленький. Вофл самый такая дура массивная.
The Quaffle.
That's right. When a chaser throws the quaffle through one of 3 hoops in a Quidditch match, their team is awarded 10 points. True or false? Polyjuice potion allows the drinker to change species.
Нет. Оно не превращает другие виды.
False.
Correct. While Polyjuice potion can be used to change things such as age or race, it cannot be used to
Кстати,
change
оборотная неделя,
species.
по-моему, на 6-м же курсе проходит.
Well,
Или на
I
5-м.
suppose this has gone on long enough. I'll put the book back on the pedestal now. If you're inclined to test your knowledge again, I have plenty more questions I could ask you. And I won't be giving you any more easy questions either. The next ones will be more difficult.
I'd like to answer more questions.
Да, попробуем.
What governmental
Пофигу.
body directly preceded the Ministry of Magic?
The Order of Merlin.
No, that's incorrect. The answer was the Wizards' Council. The Wizards' Council disbanded in 17... Which dragon breed is the smallest?
The Ukrainian Ironbelly.
No, I'm sorry. Though the Viper... Who founded the village of Hogsmeade?
Шла нахер.
Elfrida Clag.
No, the answer... It is believed the Hide Behind was accidentally created by cross...
A rune spore.
That's incorrect. The answer was a
Я
demiguise.
подумал, что это
While the
была
Hide Behind
сраная
What is the
дымаска.
only spell known to repel...
The Patronus Charm.
Well done. The only known survivor of a Lethifold attack was a wizard named Flavius, who published the law of elemental transfiguration.
Laverne de Montmorency.
That's incorrect. One of the principal exceptions to Gamp's law is that food... What does the Hogwarts motto translate to?
Никогда не щекочи
Never
спящего
tickle a sleeping
дракона.
dragon.
Correct. In Latin, the Hogwarts motto is Draco Dormiens Nunquam Titilandus. Which magical creature is the only one known to produce eggs through its
Ooh.
mouth?
Подожди.
The Basilisk.
That's incorrect. The correct... According to Parcel Mouths, each of the runes... Where is Ilvermorny's school of witch...
Или Вермония. Я не настолько шарю. Как ее остановить?
Mount Greylock.
Well done! The American school was
Ну
founded...
пусть будет.
What is the most powerful love potion?
Amatentia.
That's the answer. Amatentia smells
Чисто
different.
наугад.
Are you interested in continuing?
I don't have time for another quiz at the moment.
That's fine. Come on. I put the book back on the pedestal for you.
Revelio. Revelio ought to make quick work of this. Professor Weasley's tasks are complete. I should attend Transfiguration.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Can we meet at the Three Broomsticks? It may finally be safe since we rescued the dragon from Horntail Hall.
А, она из совы будет превращаться. Вау.
Settle down. Settle down. Transfiguration, as you may be weary of hearing me say, is an exact science that can take a lifetime to master. But we needn't be daunted. Almost anything can be transformed if you can just perceive the potential within it. As I see in all of you, tremendous witches and wizards, every one of you. Or it could just be my eyesight. Now, you all know what to do.
Трансфигурация. Так. Пробел левой кнопкой мыши, пробел F. Ну-ка, махни. Вау. Получилось.
Beautifully done.
Трансформация. Заблокировано новое заклинание. И у нас остается только бомбарда и 3 заклинания запрещенных. Непростительных. Но я думаю, что... И обратите, кстати, внимание, что у нас полностью закрыт набор. У нас полностью с вами полезности, красные, желтые и фиолетовые. Тут есть какое-нибудь чучело?
You wanted to discuss my progress so far this term, Professor?
I did. You seem to have had no trouble in getting up to speed. And frankly, excelling in your schoolwork this year.
Thank you, Professor. The extra assignments have been helpful.
As I suspected they would be. Now, it seems you've been making good use of the opportunities presented by your field guide. Of course, the guide isn't the only measure of success. I've heard that you were able to grow a venomous tentacula. Growing such a magical plant is an accomplishment of which you can be quite proud.
Thank you, Professor.
I will say I'm especially impressed with all you've accomplished in light of the rumors of your extracurricular activities. Was your visit to an ex-aura in Upper Hogsfield connected in any way to Professor Fig? I can't begin to imagine what that was about.
Not at all. I was, merely interested in learning more about the Aura program. I saw Professor Sharp's Aura badge and was intrigued.
I see. I admire your penchant for learning, but do remember that your classwork and field guide are designed to educate you thoroughly. It'll be the end of the year in no time, and you'll want to be well prepared for your OWLs. I'll provide a final assessment at that time to ensure that you're ready for your exams. Until then, well done. You are dismissed.
Так. Задача профессора Уизли была завершена, но обращаю ваше внимание, что у нас остается лишь задача по бомбарде, которая...
Since our visit to Feldcroft, something dawned on me about the triptych. Maybe at the Overlook, just north of the Forbidden Forest, and I'll explain.
О, можно вот на этом.
My plan with the helmet failed, but I have another idea. I think we may be able to find what we need at Goblin Mine south of Hogwarts. Meet me there, and bring someone who speaks gobbledygook.
А! Лол. Она будет мне показывать, куда идти. А вот это круто. А вот это очень круто, кстати. Только мне не нравится, что на юг. Потому что здесь... Это какая зона-то вообще? 10:30 там может быть вообще какой-то трошачок происходить небольшой. Ну ладно. Но это ладно. Это ладно. Так.
Not sure how I'd fare in a little place like this.
Значит, насчет завтра. Завтра, скорее всего, стрима не будет. Вот. Завтра, скорее всего, стрима не будет, потому что я не знаю, что завтра стримить, если честно. Завтра стрима не будет, а вот...
This could prove dangerous if I'm not careful.
Вот в воскресенье у нас с вами будет стрим, у нас с вами произойдет.
Arresto momentum.
Спасибо, хоть что написали, где все это взять. Угу. То есть это будет самая простая задача, по сути. А мы с вами сваливаем. Блин, вот большая пурпурная жаба. Мне уже название не нравится. Жалко, они здесь не сделали как в бете, что можно немножко вниз и пошел пикировать.
Revelio.
Я надеюсь, мы без пещеры сейчас обойдемся.
Arresto momentum. Assignment's all finished.
Ну вот. А теперь мы с вами можем изучить последнее легальное, скажем так, заклинание этой игры. Хотя, честно скажу, система заклинаний вообще неудобная. Она убогая, откровенно. То есть объединение заклинаний по кучкам. Ну, хер его знает, честно. Во, вот этого я хочу себе в коллекцию, наверное, лупоглазик. А, это этот китайский дракон. Китайский дракоша.
Class dismissed.
Can't say I'm terribly fond of all the dung in this class.
I take it you're ready to learn your new spell.
I completed your assignment, Professor. I'm ready to learn Bombarda now.
Good. Now, this spell comes with a caveat. It should only be used when necessary. The exploding charm, as you might suspect, can hurt people. Use caution when casting it.
Is this something we should be learning in school?
Better for you to learn it in school, where we can instruct you properly as to its use. Now, you must be precise in your wand movements. We don't want you blowing your hand off. Go ahead. Nice and steady wand movements. Remember, the exploding charm is highly volatile.
Есть. Заклинание бомбарда.
Well done.
Вставай-ка ты вместо дефинда, наверное. Дефинда
Let us put it into practice, shall we? Go ahead and try it on the pumpkins.
Bombarda!
Excellent wand.
Вау!
Cast the spell just like that every time.
Вот это мне нравится.
Assured and in control.
Вот это мне нравится. Играющий чар бомбарда наносит огромный урон, вызывая взрыв с большим радиусом поражения.
Excellent. You have it well in hand.
Я предлагаю сейчас продолжить. Давайте по таинству самой смерти продолжим, потому что у нас с вами, как вы помните, получилось в прошлый раз. Стишите, покормите потомство Фетрала.
I should let Deke know about the newborn Thestral.
А, то есть может быть 12 тварей 3 видов. А, у нас же есть лунтеленок, я уже забыл про это. Понятно. Нам, значит, туда, на болото, лягушку ставить. Ну, вообще не хотелось бы, хотя...
Settle yourself. I mean you no harm.
Давайте я пока тебя тоже уберу, потому что я хочу здесь только пока жабу видеть. Как-то тут жаба вообще не смотрится, если честно, ну ладно. Жабьи бородавки.
Hello, Deke. You'll be pleased to know that a little Thestral was born.
How wonderful to have more Thestrals in our world. Such misunderstood beasts.
I'm sorry that we can both see Thestrals, Deke.
Deke is privileged to see such majestic beasts, but sometimes wishes Deke couldn't. Deke is to blame.
What do you mean, to blame?
Years ago, Deke's master ordered Deke to help him capture a phoenix, the rarest of all beasts, that master had spotted high on a cliff. The phoenix was the most beautiful beast Deke had ever seen. Deke begged master to leave her be. When Deke hesitated to climb up the cliff as ordered, Deke had to punish himself. As Deke punished himself, master grew angrier and angrier, and in his frustration cast at the regal bird. Deke suspects the phoenix was protecting eggs when it swooped down in fear and fury. Before Deke could reach him, master fell from the cliff. Deke stayed on that cliffside for days, punishing himself, before Tobbs found him.
It sounds to me as if your master got what he deserved.
Deke never wanted anyone to get hurt. Not the phoenix, not Tobbs, and not even master. Deke often wonders what became of that phoenix. Deke feels fortunate to be at Hogwarts now, helping you rescue beasts. Perhaps Deke can make amends for what came before.
Возможно. Но не факт. Вот это что за задание, я не могу понять. А, это взаимоотношения задачу, я понял. Давайте отчет о драконе закончу. Я предлагаю попытаться его хотя бы закончить. 28%, кстати, пройденной игры. Хотя бы попытаемся его закончить, потому что я не уверен, что получится. Если честно. Я не уверен, что у нас получится. Но теперь мы знаем все заклинания, кроме непростительных. Я думаю, что непростительные мы тоже со временем выучим.
Oh, please tell me you have an answer for me about the butterflies.
Увы, но нет. По крайней мере, пока нет.
This is a change of pace from our last outing.
Don't remind me. The thought of that tent still makes my blood boil. I've been thinking about those poor dragons in the fighting ring. The collars they were wearing, they appeared to be goblin silver. I think a collar is precisely what we found at that poacher camp. I've never known poachers to use anything like that before.
The dragon that attacked my carriage was wearing a collar, and Professor Fig was genuinely baffled by its behavior.
That attack always did strike me as a little strange, seemingly coming out of nowhere. Surely you aren't suggesting that the collars somehow control the poor creatures?
Exactly.
Merlin, I don't think the dragon we set free was wearing a collar, but we should check. And if we can find her, we can return her egg.
That's a good idea. We need to see this through.
I'll start looking into it right away. There was something else that I wanted to discuss with you. I didn't want to press it before. It seems I may have caused you more trouble with Victor Rookwood. Why is he after you?
Rookwood is working with Ranrock, and Ranrock is after something I found at Gringotts. Fig had a portkey that led us there after the dragon attack. It's a bit of a long story, and Fig had asked that I not speak of it yet.
Goodness. Well, that certainly helps to shed light on what we saw at the tent. Don't worry, I'll guard your secret as if it were my own. I shan't press for more details. In fact, I should probably be going. I'd like to track that dragon down as soon as I can. I'll let you know when I have news of her location.
Окей.
Hello, Serona. I received your owl. How are you?
Hello, my friend. Did you ever find Lodgog?
I did, thank you. In fact, we're working together to try and rein in Ramrock.
Are you? I suspected you and he would get along. Perhaps best I don't know details of your plans. And I shall refrain from telling you to be careful yet again. But I hope you will be.
Of course. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something?
I do. I thought you might be just the person to do a favour for my friend Dorothy Sprottle in Upper Hogsfield.
I don't believe I've met Mrs. Sprottle.
She's lovely. Her late husband Aidan was a friend of my father's. In fact, I'd stay with Dot and Aidan the summers I waited tables here as a student. I've seen her a few times since Aidan passed, but the pub's been so busy lately, I've not been as attentive as I'd have liked. I wonder if you might pop in and see her. She may need some help collecting ingredients for her supply of Wiggenweld potion. And you could retrieve something of mine in the process. A box, full of old letters and such.
Why does Mrs. Sprottle keep a supply of Wiggenweld potion on hand?
Dot's a skilled potioneer. She's been supplying travelling vendors with Wiggenweld potion. An ordinary precaution that has, unfortunately, become a necessity, what with Ranrock's loyalists disrupting the trade routes.
Why did Mr. and Mrs. Sprottle have your box of letters after all this time?
It's one of a few that I had when I was young. Dot found it when she was clearing out a closet. Can't imagine what's in there. Probably terribly theatrical. Ramblings of a teenage witch and her friends. You're welcome to take a peek inside, if you do find it. To be honest, I'd imagine it contains some lovely memories.
I'll try to go and see her when I can.
It would mean the world to me, and to Dorothy. Aidan was bringing the box of letters to me when he was taken ill. Dot can tell you where he might have dropped it. You'll find the hamlet just north of Hogsmeade. Please do give Dot my love.
Hogsmeade, here I come.
Да понял я, что нельзя войти, находясь вверху. Понял.
Revelio.
You can't keep your eyes off the pretty lass, you can't.
Seems a pleasant enough little place.
Upper Hogsfield is being terrorised by Ranrock's loyalists.
Shane Bardolph thought dark magic was the answer. I reckon Rookwood's played a hand in his disappearance.
Revelio. This looks intriguing.
Да уж, это точно.
Bardo Beaumont should have returned by now. Had by dark wizards he was.
Hello, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Sirona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you.
Oh, dear Sirona, a gem. Has been for as long as I've known her.
She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion.
And she's correct. My darling Aiden used to collect Horklumps for me. Since he died, my supply has dwindled.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle.
Oh, thank you. Love of my life. A bit lost without him. If you wouldn't mind gathering some Horklumps for me, I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
I can certainly try and find some for you.
That would be wonderful. I'm worried about the travelling vendors and would love to get them more Wiggenweld potion.
Sirona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill.
Indeed he was. I'd almost forgotten. I stumbled upon it just before Aiden died. He was hoping to go through it with Sirona over a butterbeer or two. Those two were always like two bowtruckles in a branch. Aiden took ill when he was collecting Horklumps on his way to see her. He made it home, but I fear he dropped the box in the cavern. The cavern is in the hills just southwest of our hamlet. You can gather Horklumps and collect the box of letters there.
Sirona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like?
Goodness. Well, she was almost exactly like she is now. Charming, good head on her shoulders, taking care of everyone. I can't tell you the fun we had when she and her friends would visit us during the year, all buzzing about, practicing charms. Talented group. Her friend Mirabelle was a genius in the garden. Learned it all from her muggle parents, if you can believe it.
Do you remember anything about the letters you put in the box?
Oh, of course. A few letters from some of her school friends. Some nice memories. I even included a letter Sirona had written to me when she was staying with us. Thought she might enjoy reading it. I know when I read writing from my youth, I'm always astonished at how much I've changed, and yet remain the same.
Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle.
Thank you. I'll be here if you are able to collect those Horklumps. I and the vendors I help would greatly appreciate it.
Ай, не нравится мне слово пещера в этой фразе.
This must be the cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned.
Впадина с мурлокомолями.
Revelio. Better have a look around. See about the Horklumps and the box of letters. Incendio. That's at least one Horklump.
А кто будет противник здесь, интересно? Пауканы? Как обычно. Да нырни ты, ну. А, ну понятно, это выход с уровня, скорее всего. Письма Сироны.
Revelio. Revelio. Getting there. Just a few more Horklumps to harvest. Either I'll have to fight that troll, or avoid it altogether. Hulk to harvest. That's all the Hulk lumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased. Revelio. This must be Sirona's box of letters.
Я не буду это читать, я предлагаю вам потом в записи.
I have some promising news about the location of our Hebridean dragon friend and where to return her you know what. Meet me in the town circle in Hogsmeade.
I think that's everything. Sirona will be glad to have this back.
Expelliarmus! Glacius! Incendio! Bombarda! Revelio!
Я не знаю, почему у меня такое ощущение, что бомбада — это заклинание, которое придумали СНГшные маги. Хз, почему. Сундук выше.
Revelio!
А, ну это на поверхности уже. Выходим отседа.
I should find Mrs. Sprottle. She'll be glad to get these Hulk lumps. It's like a place.
Shane Bardolph thought dark magic was the answer. I reckon Rookwood's played a hand in his disappearance.
Hello, Mrs. Sprottle. I have good news. I was able to harvest some Hulk lumps for you, and I found Sirona's box of letters.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion. And Sirona will be delighted to have those letters. How kind of you. Now you be careful heading back to Hogsmeade.
I should take this box of letters to Sirona.
Bardolph Beaumont should have returned by now.
Excuse me. Did you say something about Bardolph Beaumont?
Oh, hello again. How nice to see you. And yes, I did. I was just worrying about Claire Beaumont's brother Bardolph. Only he's gone missing. Rumour is he was seen in the forest practicing dark magic. Saw him myself near some ruins with Rookwood's lot I did. I fear he got himself into trouble with the Ashwinders, especially if he made them a promise he couldn't keep. I'd help search for him myself, but no one will risk encountering Ranrock's loyalists. They seem to be everywhere.
Do you think Bardolph may have simply run off?
No. Bardolph's run that shop with Claire his entire life. He'd not give it up for anything. He swore he'd be back in a fortnight. My instincts are that he's been held captive, or worse.
Why would Bardolph want to get involved with the Ashwinders?
Oh, he had a terrible run-in with Ranrock's loyalists. Changed him. He vowed never to feel powerless again. I think he sought the Ashwinders out to learn their secrets. Victor Rookwood, at least, seems somehow immune to Ranrock's loyalists.
I can certainly look out for him.
Any help would be appreciated. You might speak to Claire first. Perhaps she has some insights that I don't. I can tell you that Bardolph was last seen in the forest wearing a particular woolen jumper, one that Claire knitted herself. Claire will be at her shop if you'd like to speak with her.
Abandoned long ago, no doubt. Does it get any more cozy than Hogsmeade?
I'll fix him, that charm grinder.
Oh, please tell me you have...
Hello, Sirona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some hawk lumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
One of the letters mentions Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Oh, Merlin's beard. I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw.
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends. I know she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter. She and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, it's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they ever would.
I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aidan. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand. And not everyone was as kind to me as the Sprottles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through... well, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aidan. Thank you, again, for helping her. And for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.
Полки с бочонком. Так. Давайте вот с этим яйцом закончим задание. Вот этот эффект слепошары для слепошарых, это вообще... Какой дурак это придумал вообще.
It's not like her to forget.
I didn't keep you waiting, did I?
Not at all. I was just at the post office. Gran told me to expect a package, but it looks as if she forgot to send it. She didn't send me an owl this week either. Perhaps she's busy with her research.
What was she sending you?
Only some feed she's been developing. I was going to give it to Professor Howen for the measles.
What kind of research is she doing?
It varies from week to week, but it's always to do with creatures. Last week she was studying leg knots in plimpies.
What did you find out about the dragon you were tracking?
I realized that she didn't know the poachers had her egg, so when she left Horntail Hall, she would have headed straight to her nest. I went back to the tent and tracked her flight.
How do you track a dragon long after she's gone?
Tree canopies, burn marks, things like that.
Well done. You certainly know what you're doing.
I can't be certain, but I have an idea of one place she may have been heading. I thought we might go and see it for ourselves.
Of course. Shall we leave now?
If that's all right. I want to see how she's faring if she had a collar on. And she's likely frantic about her egg. Here we are. I do think this is where we'll find her. The terrain's typical of where the breed would nest. I suspect it's how the poachers found her to begin with. They likely camped here and logged her patterns. Perhaps nabbed her first and then her egg. Dragons are hard enough to wrangle, let alone maternal ones.
You got all of that from simply standing here?
You'd be surprised how easy it is to think like a poacher. Shall we see if she's home? We only need to return her egg.
You're making this sound simple, but this is a dragon after all.
Hebrideans can be aggressive, but they're also clever. She caught on quickly enough when you showed her how to escape the tent. She'll understand why we're here once she sees her egg. Then we can be finished with the poachers once and for all.
I don't suppose you've thought about keeping it, have you?
No, it belongs to her. Keeping it will make me just as bad as the poachers.
If you're right about finding her here, how do we go about returning the egg?
Her nest will likely be in the heart of her den, which she will be keeping guard over. It might also be more charred than anywhere else, I imagine.
Well then, let's find our dragon and return her egg.
Wonderful. If she sees us flying about, she might take it as a sign of aggression or food. We should stay on foot. Oh, and one more thing. Let's not agitate her. Goodness knows she's been through enough already. I'm ready when you are. There she is, above us. She did make it home safely. Oh, good. It looks as if she wasn't collared like the other dragons.
Revelio.
Ну, ничего хорошего, Поппи, знаешь. Она все равно представляет для нас опасность, поэтому здесь хорошо это или плохо, вопрос спорный. Я бы даже сказал, очень спорный. Спалишь?
Poor thing must be worried sick, wondering what happened to her egg.
Кровь. Херась.
For what it's worth, she doesn't seem to have spotted us yet. Revelio.
It stays that way. At least until we've done what we came to do. I wonder how many they brought to capture her. At least 10.
Revelio. Petrificus totalis. Revelio.
Ну, вообще, как бы это не наш метод, но... Да. Поппи, кстати, обратите внимание, не палится на это я думал, она будет палиться.
How charming. They keep in touch with each other. Revelio. There she is again.
She's breathtaking.
From a distance.
Fantastic. How good her eyesight is.
Revelio. I beg your pardon.
I don't imagine the poachers fed her well. And from a distance, we probably look exactly like sheep to her. Hebrideans love sheep.
How lucky for us.
Долго нам еще гнездо-то искать?
Watch your step. All just raring for a fight. Revelio.
Какое-то пламя.
What was that?
Натурально. Ой-ой.
Revelio.
Watch out! It's her domain. She'll make sure we know it.
Блин, вот это интересно, кстати.
We've just got to make it to the nest.
She doesn't make it easy.
Not a warm welcome.
It's a little too warm, if you ask me. I don't suppose she listened to reason.
I'd normally try, but we're well past that. Below her.
Это мы поняли уже, кофе.
She's leaving. there's the nest. We're almost there. Why is every bridge here broken?
Reparo.
Now, if we just return her egg, we can hopefully make it out without too much fuss.
Как же это сейчас смешно
That was
выглядит от взгляда.
brilliant. And did you see how clever? She left us perfectly unharmed.
That's rather generous, isn't it? She did try to kill us the entire time.
Only until she saw her egg, at which point I thought she rather warmed to us. The important thing is that we survived it, and we returned her egg. Thank you for doing this with me. Wouldn't blame you one bit if you wanted to head back to the castle and never think about dragons again.
Shall we head back? I'm ready if you are.
I am. After our dragon rescue at Hauntow Hall, I half expect to be ambushed by poachers any time I'm not in the castle.
Understandable. We did sabotage their fighting ring and steal a dragon egg from them.
True. True. So why haven't they come after us? It's not like them to let things lie. Unless...
Unless what?
Unless they haven't let things lie. Oh no, I can't believe I didn't see it. We need to leave. I need to send an owl.
Чё? А, они типа бабушки будут мстить? Йо. Или что она имеет в виду?
How could I have been so blind?
Что случилось-то, Поппи? Ты можешь мне объяснить?
Revelio. Accio.
В высокогорном регионе, в Хогвартсе, в Хоксмиде. А, ну вот, то есть... Испытание Мерлина, астрономические столы и что-то еще, что закрыто. Мы с вами завершили все задачи. Но, к сожалению, здесь не показывается, да? Выполните дуэльные уловки, победите дворняк, троллей, пауков. Печаль неизвестных врагов. Гоблинов, инферналок, топироек и темных волшебников. Так, таланты. Скрытность мы полностью прокачали, да? Я бы вот это взял, на самом деле. Да, его мы, собственно, и возьмем. Ну, типа 20, 40. То есть 48 уровней надо набрать, чтобы все прокачать. А в игре всего, по-моему, уровней мало их, короче. Одним словом. Нам с вами надо обновить снарягу, кстати. Надо обновить снарягу. Ну, не знаю, но тут единицу добавляет, как бы, это не имеет смысла. Наряды тоже не имеет смысла. Это тоже не имеет смысла. И это тоже не имеет смысла. Нет, мы будем на крылане летать. Нам с вами нужно, знаете, куда? Нам с вами вот сюда надо.
You're back. Nice to see you again. That item is of the highest quality. That item is of the highest quality.
Ну, мы поняли.
Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again.
Это у тебя на стене набор для квиддича типа висит. Так, вот нам дали третью ячейку. Давайте на этом на сегодня мы с вами закончим. Привычка с бетса. Вот. Какое-то еще испытание заблокировано, но я думаю, что это вот эти вот как раз штуки. Странно, что до сих пор оно заблокировано. Это удивительно на самом деле. 29%. Вот это я так понимаю процент прохождения игры в целом. Как я понимаю. Ну, давайте начнем кровное родство. Ладно, так уж и быть. Чисто для того, чтобы растянуть хронометраж этого стрима, давайте начнем.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Anything to do with the dark art should be avoided. It's too risky.
Anything to do with Salazar Slytherin is worth the risk.
I can't agree. And I'll not say a word more. I'm sorry.
I won't give up.
What were you and Ominous speaking about?
He's being ridiculous. Apparently Salazar Slytherin had a secret scriptorium here in Hogwarts. Ominous swears it was used for the dark arts, so he wants nothing to do with it. I reminded him that Anne needs a cure. This scriptorium could hold the answers we need.
Ominous is right. Meddling in the dark arts is dangerous.
There's more to dark magic than people realize. The Gaunts know this better than most. Perhaps I've spoken out of turn. Ominous's family history is personal to him.
I'd like to know more about it if you wouldn't mind telling me. I won't repeat it.
Very well. But do keep this between us. Ominous learned dark magic from his parents. Are you familiar with the Cruciatus curse?
Crucio, correct? The Cruciatus curse. Also known as the torture curse. Inflicts excruciating pain on the victim.
Apparently, his parents and older siblings had no qualms about casting it on muggles for sport. Ominous described the sound of the victim's cries as horrific, so the first time he was asked to cast it himself as a child, he couldn't bring himself to do it. As punishment, his family cast it on him. The anguish was so bad that when asked to cast it again, he relented. I have repeatedly assured Ominous that he did what he had to, but he still hasn't forgiven himself.
How horrible. Poor Ominous. He was only a child. He shouldn't blame himself.
After that incident, the rift between Ominous and his family only grew. That is until I came along. Every moment he isn't at Hogwarts, he's with us in Feldcroft. Ominous trusts me. And more often than not, he winds up listening to me. I'll remind him of that when I follow up about the scriptorium. Watch for my owl. I'll have news soon enough. I'll make Ominous understand. He'll change his mind.
What are you up to now?
Было бы прикольно, если бы она сейчас реагировала, кстати.
Revelio.
Да я был уверен, что здесь что-то есть. Я никак не могу понять, где. Ой, это еще до того, как его заколдовали, что ли? Где страница руководства? Вижу только сундучок и...
Hello, Hamura. What do we have here? A demiguise.
Опа. Время маска. Давайте соберем его и уже спокойненько в этой прекрасной боковой какой-то комнатке закончим.
Mine now, demiguise.
Salazar Slytherin scriptorium, but my efforts were in vain. Meet me outside the Slytherin common room. We need to talk.
Так, хорошо, у нас есть конец задания про дракона. Ну ты чё, блин, разучился, что ли?
I've always said that travel.
Понятно, разучился, значит. А мы что, в гостиную, что ли, идем? Да, очень похоже на то, что мы реально в гостиную по финду идем. Ну, это же лучше даже, наверное, в каком-то смысле. Блин, вот как они не теряются в Хогвартсе? Хогвартс огромный, как они в нем не теряются? Они в нем как вообще ориентируются-то? Сейчас, Поппи вообще что ли не в Хогвартсе? Что-то уклоняться разучился. Но это территория замка. Сюда, я думаю, никого не подпустят. Даже если захочет что-либо сделать, просто не впустят и все. Так,
Oh, good, you're safe.
Что случилось-то?
There you are. You were in such a state when you left.
The poachers got to my gran. Someone recognized me in Horntail Hall and they got to her.
What do you mean? Is she all right?
She's fine, thank goodness. But they were at her house, our house. They assumed I'd sent the egg there. She said they took the whole place apart looking for it, screaming that we'd cost them everything.
I'm sorry, Poppy. I'm glad she's all right. I don't think either one of us could have anticipated that.
I should have known. I underestimated the poachers. And now another creature's in danger.
What do you mean?
The poachers refused to leave empty-handed, so they took valuable journals that Gran had discovered when she was researching rare creatures. One of them contained theories about a secret hiding place of the Snidget, long thought to be extinct.
Exactly what kind of creature is a Snidget?
It's a small bird with golden feathers. It's incredible. It has rotational wings that allow it to dart quickly in any direction. In fact, the golden snitch in Quidditch is based on the Snidget, which barbarically was actually used in the sport hundreds of years ago.
Why would Snidgets be valuable to poachers?
They could make more money with Snidgets than they ever would have fighting dragons. The golden Snidget's feathers and eyes are incredibly valuable. That's why they're believed to be extinct. They were hunted out of existence by wizard kind. If the poachers found some now, I can't bear to think about the horrific way they'd be bred and killed for profit.
Where exactly are these Snidgets allegedly hidden?
Gran says the journals were a bit cryptic, which is good. Perhaps the poachers won't be clever enough to find the birds. From what she recalls, the journals only noted that the key to finding them lay in the moonlight. Gran thinks it can be narrowed down to a handful of locations.
I take it you aren't going to let the poachers anywhere near the Snidgets.
Gran wants me to stay out of it, but I know she's devastated that poachers might go after the Snidgets, if they still exist. We had the element of surprise on our side when we saved that dragon, but the poachers will be watching for us now.
We need allies. Others who hate the poachers enough to help us, who value creatures as much
Merlin's beard! You're a genius! The centaurs, they'd want the Snidgets protected at all costs.
Centaurs aren't known for being the friendliest lot, especially not with wizard kind, and not right now.
We'll need to be careful in how we approach them. Tensions with them are high. Still, I think they may be our only hope. Let me think on it. I'll let you know as soon as I have a plan.
Она типа думает, если вы еще не поняли. Ну что, вот такой вот стрим. Мы с вами вышли на Круциатус. Великий ужасный. Мы с вами вышли на вот это, пожалуйста. Я думаю, что он научит нас и Круцио, и Империо, и Авади Кедавра. Подожди, Империо же, да, по-моему, третий. Круцио, Империо и Авада Кедавра. Да, Империо. Вот. То есть вот эти вот три непростительных, они пойдут с нами. И тогда вся магия в игре будет нам доступна. Но это уже в следующий раз, я думаю. Да и, честно сказать, я не уверен, что мы будем вообще в целом изучать с вами темную магию. Хотя, ну, типа, Авада Кедавра — это хорошее подспорье, на самом деле. Потому что она пробивает вообще все, что угодно. Прям убойнейшая вещь. Хотя, меня удивляет, почему Аваду Кедавру не применяет никто из браконьеров. Типа, один раз сказанул, и этих двоих уже бы не было. Хотя, там, возможно, свои варианты. Спасибо всем, кто был. Огромное спасибо всем, кто был от начала до конца. Канал Арцус Мюзутал. Пишите в комментариях, вот если бы у вас была такая возможность, чисто ради того, чтобы знать эти заклинания, вы бы изучили этих троих? Ну, я про Империо, Круцио и Авада Кедавра. Вы бы это изучили? Или нет? Вот, пишите. Как бы повторюсь, завтра, скорее всего, стрима не будет, потому что как бы... Ну, в общем, посмотрим, когда мы теперь увидимся. Всем удачи, всем